All right, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Foodies and Friends on Fox 26 and Fox Local. Y'all know we are underway with Eat Drink HTX. We are having a grand old time dining out and doing good in February. You do not have to wait until August now to support the Houston Food Bank and, of course, our incredible restaurants. Eat Drink HTX is running now through February 28th. You can find all 135 restaurants, y'all, on our website, EatDrinkHTX.com. All of these incredible lunch, brunch, and dinner menus, $15 and $25. It's a pretty good deal. I'm on a budget, y'all. I know a lot of people are on a budget. I can't spend, all this money dining out, but for $15, I can. And especially when I know that I'm feeding people at the same time. All right, y'all, let's get right to the food. We found an incredible, for us, brand new Ethiopian coffee shop, Kefita. We're here in Midtown. This is Ruby. This is her mama, Addis. Welcome to the show. Thank y'all so much. Yeah. We are in the most adorable house.
Thank you.
I had no idea. This is so cool. When did you guys come here and build this house and stuff?
Yeah, so the business started, we've been working on the coffee shop for quite some time and getting it
renovated. Yeah, I can see all the floors and the walls. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Our main business as well is also Wonder Like Wonder. It's a creative art studio. Mm-hmm. So we've had this house now for about 4.5 years, and we've been doing that. We have a photography studio here.
Right there. It's really cool. You come upstairs and there's all these little rooms. I mean, it would be the kitchen or living room, but it's a room to do your work and to drink your coffee and take some photos too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so the coffee shop is the newest addition. It's 5 months in. So yeah. We're doing it, mother-daughter duo.
Really new. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. So we're going to take a look at some of the menu items that they are offering on their lunch and brunch menus. Let's go right on over to the foodie cam. We're going to save the coffee for a little bit later because coffee makes us go a little crazy, me especially. And I know this coffee is going to make me go insane. All right. Oh my goodness. And this is an example of one of the rooms that we are just right next to. I mean, so cute. Who did all this decor?
Both of us, actually. So that room is really special as well. That's actually a room dedicated to my grandmother. She passed over 10 years ago, but that room is dedicated to her. So there's a picture of her in there, and then kind of some decor that she would like as well. So
what maybe would have seen in her living room growing up. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Now this is some of the items that you guys offer downstairs in the coffee shop. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that first item on the left?
Yeah, so that's going to be the almond croissant. All of our croissants are provided by Love Croissants, which is a local bakery nearby.
Shout out to Love Croissants. Yes. We love shouting out our fabulous local suppliers.
Yes, so it's just so yummy. I've had a lot of almond croissants where it's too creamy, it's too this, too that. But it's just the perfect.
And those are giant.
Yeah.
Like when they bring it out, I couldn't believe how big it was. I can't wait to break into
the whole
it.
Meal,
it totally is. So that's your almond croissant. And then what's next to that?
To the right of that is going to be the love bun. So it's filled with cream cheese. It's topped with guava glaze, and then it has a graham cracker streusel on top. So it's really, really yummy.
And where are those?
Those are also
coming from
Love
Croissants. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good, very good. And then what are we looking at in the front?
In the front is going to be special to our space in that we have our in-house chef here, my mother, that makes these amazing sambusas. They're similar to samosas, and they're filled with potato and lentil. And they also come with that sauce over there to the left, which is going to be made with Ethiopian spices, berbere. It's a nice, tangy, spicy sauce. It's really good.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned sambusas. Mm-hmm. So is that kind of the Ethiopian version of a sambu or of a different samosa?
It's not particular to Ethiopia. It is more of an East African thing. So other various countries in East Africa also have it. But
And I love seeing all of the flavors of your coffees too, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about these. And I want to also talk to you, Mom. I want to hear about your inspirations for some of these dishes, because I heard y'all talking a little bit about the ingredients for the sauce, and she was telling you something and you were listening and you're like, okay, I get it. So, but tell me about this drink.
So that one is going to be the iced chai, and it's a masala chai, and it's also from a woman-owned business in Portland. The chai itself is from a brand called Soul Chai. So yeah, we loved it, and when we tried it, and it was just, it's been a hit ever since.
It is. It's really smooth. It's really nice. Warm or cold. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. So people can order it either way, hot or cold. And this one I put in particular, I put oat milk and lavender in it. So it's really good.
This is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
I didn't know that they could make them this big. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is massive. This is love croissants.
Love croissants, yeah.
So this is oh my goodness. What's your way? Mom, what's your way? How do you eat your croissants? What do you put on them?
Exactly like that.
Just like this.
Just
plain?
Like that. Yeah.
Just plain croissant.
Yeah, it is good.
You don't dress it up with anything?
No.
Sometimes I like to drizzle honey.
She
on
does.
it.
Ooh, yes.
She does.
I am the wacky wild person that actually toasts the croissant and then I put more butter on the croissant.
Yeah.
Is that just a little weird? And I'm a honey person too. Yeah. I'll put honey, but jelly. I like to do different jellies, like an apple jam or a strawberry jam, and then kind of mix it up. I wonder.
I might have to try it.
Yeah, I think I want to say I started when I was traveling through France. It was a lot of a very common breakfast. Croissants, jellies, butters, honeys. No, just put it all in one and make my own mixture. But these.
Yeah,
these
I like spicy food. But I feel like hot honey might be something to try too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of cream cheese, like a thin layer of cream cheese. This is, you see what happens when we sit down.
Yes.
We get something good. We get some good coffee. I want to talk to you guys about the coffee too, because they have their own coffee here at Kefita. And I do want to share too with our viewers a little bit about the history of coffee. If you guys didn't know, it's from Ethiopia. Yes.
Yeah, the birthplace of coffee. We actually do once a month. We do Ethiopian coffee ceremonies here, so you get to kind of come into like really understanding there's cultural storytelling. So my mom does a great job of that as she serves the coffee, and so it's a lot of fun.
Can you share a little bit of that story that somebody might come and hear? Like, what's a traditional story that surrounds the Ethiopian coffee bean?
Okay, like she said, coffee is first found in Ethiopia. That in fact they call it. Ethiopia is the birthplace of coffee.
The birthplace of coffee, yes.
There is a province which calls them Keffa. They found it from there. There is a legend history about, I'm sure you can Google it also. The goat was eating that fruit and they go crazy and the shepherd didn't understand what's going on. Yeah. So he was trying to follow. Then he saw them. Whenever they eat that, they go crazy, they don't sleep, But when they don't eat that, they are cool. So he tells a story about it, and that's how they start growing coffee.
That's how they discovered the coffee bean. They had some crazy goats jumping around. So this is your own coffee brand.
Yes. So that coffee is specifically for our shop. It's from the Guji region in Ethiopia. And so it's single origin. We sell it here in shop.
So you mentioned the Guji region, and it says it right here. So are there specific regions in Ethiopia that are more known for producing coffee over others?
Yes, for sure.
And so what would those be?
Sidama, right?
Harar, Sidamo. Jimma.
Is it more north, east, west, or south? What generally is the area?
South.
The south area is
yeah.
good for growing coffee.
Yeah. Here in America, they are known. Your cafe is very known. The ones at Starbucks. But the coffee this one is good. Not because we have it. But
Yes. What would you say is overall the coffee that we drink, whether it's we're going to a restaurant and we're having brunch, where is most of that coffee coming from? Or is it just coming from all over the world?
Yeah. Coffee that we drink in various cafes, restaurants, they do vary from all over the world. A lot of times too, you'll when you try coffees, a lot of times they're blends too, so they're like from various different countries. And
so you could be drinking Ethiopia, you could be drinking Brazil, you could be drinking Guatemala, Colombian, all at the same time. And what separates them? Is it strength in the bean? Is it a taste? Is it a certain season? What are to help us understand what the differences are?
Yeah, it's going to be all of those things actually. So the acidity, the region, the elevation matters. Also, another thing too, when it comes to elevation, our name behind the coffee shop, right? Kefita means lifted high. So a lot of the reason why, there's various reasons why we named it that, but one of the reasons why is because elevation is super important when it comes to where coffee is grown.
Elevation is important because it needs more or less oxygen or liquid or water.
Definitely the oxygen. Yeah. And there's various other things too that farmers look into as well. But yeah, as far as like the seasons that the coffee's grown and things like that, it definitely really matters.
Even in Ethiopia, the different kinds, different province will have different tastes. Like Harar, fruity. Some of them have more acidity than the others. The body of the coffee also different.
So maybe certain areas become known for a sweeter coffee or maybe a more bitter coffee, and maybe sometimes maybe stronger coffee, right? Is there's coffee that is more caffeine per cup as well?
Yeah, no, definitely. And also too, you have the option of, once the bean is here, you have the option depending on like how you like your coffee roasted. If you want a medium roast, a dark roast, a lighter roast. Typically with Ethiopian coffee, it's anywhere between light to medium. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fascinated with coffee because it's one of, I think, the oldest things that we know that we can eat, right? It is something that has a huge amount of health benefits too, right? Like this is ancient stuff, this is what kept us alive, right? Like back when we needed to be kept alive, right? And so this is, so I think it's just so interesting because we go to, like you mentioned, Starbucks, we order our coffee, we drive through McDonald's, we get our coffee, but we don't really think about the history of it or where it's coming from. What gave you guys the idea to start to work together in a coffee shop?
My mom has always been supportive with any dream and aspiration I've had. So even with like my first business venture, it was in I had a clothing store East Downtown for 3 years. And I remember telling her the day that I wanted to do that, I was like, I want to quit my 9 to 5 and just do this. And it was like, okay, let's do it. So when it came time for us to, talk about a coffee shop, I was like, I'm not doing it unless you're doing it.
Aww.
So it's been a fun journey. It's been tough too, because I mean, opening any business is, there's a lot of challenges, but it's been helpful and a relief to be able to do it with her. So
for sure. Well, there's one thing that we know on Foodies and Friends is that the moms are generally right. We have a long history of mamas telling us what to do and they're never wrong. So we just listen to what they say. All right, I am ready to go back to the foodie can because I'd like to take a look at the glazed menu item. You mentioned a guava glaze. So let's take a look at that and you can tell me a little bit more about that item there on the right. So tell me about what that was again.
That's called the love bun.
The love bun.
Mhm.
Okay. And that has been a popular item for you guys.
Yes, it has been. I think it's just the fact that, you know, you don't really need a dipping sauce or anything like that for it. It already has that cream cheese filling, the guava glaze. It's just a really nice touch to it. So it's been good.
I can't wait to try it. Now, you guys mentioned that you've been working on the building for the last few years and getting it open. Coffee shop is pretty new, 4 months ago, excuse me. But tell me a little bit about you. Are you from Houston? Were you born here? Have you grown up here?
I was born here.
Yes.
Born and raised here. I went to school in Dallas and then moved to Austin for work, and then moved back home to Houston to open up the business 7 years ago.
Yeah. And what brought you guys to Houston all those years ago?
How long have you been here? A long time?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Oh yes. This is really yes. Wait a minute. Oh, so there is. Yes, there's a lot of cream cheese in the middle here. All right, I'm trying to get a little bite.
Inside.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is something that people have been kind of going crazy for.
Yeah.
This
No,
glaze.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I would take a dozen of these home.
Yeah.
And they would not be alive by the time I got home. That's what would happen. Oh, yes. No, these are great. And this is a very large muffin, too.
Yes.
So
It's filling.
very filling. Yes. Tell me about some of the fun things that happen working together. Do you learn from each other? Are there's a little bit you can learn from your daughter. I know it's mostly learning from mama, but what are some of the fun things that you guys have learned from each other?
Me, like she said, I try to work on coffee maybe more than 10 years, but I didn't have the knowledge she has. So I try to bring coffee to sell on Amazon, try to work on Ethiopian coffee, but I didn't have the know-how. So when she tried to work on the coffee, I was so happy. So it's really fun to work with her.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Because she listened what I say.
You see. No, I mean, listen, I think it's so beautiful to be able to work with not just your family, your mom and your dad, but family members. Your dad is here too, watching. And is dad involved at all in the business? I mean, whether he likes it or not, he's probably involved in the business, But.
Yes. He's very supportive. He's the house maintenance man. He does all the things.
Yep.
Very supportive. He's great.
Yeah, because it's almost like, renovating a space like this, it's almost like your parents are kind of building a house for you, right? Because this is your business. You're putting all of your hopes and your dreams. And I think it's truly one of the most special gifts that parents could give their children. I mean, just really beautiful. And then you're serving the community at the same time. What has been some of the surprising parts about possibly introducing people to Ethiopian coffee? Because we talked about maybe there isn't an awareness of the kind of coffee that you're drinking, but what has your experience been in sharing the Ethiopian coffee bean with people?
I think, while I realize that it's not something necessarily new to folks as far as Ethiopian coffee, people are familiar with Ethiopian coffee, but I think that the opportunity that we have to be able to present it in such a way where we're able to bring them into the story. And then also we're able to put our own kind of like twist on things too, with the menu and the different things that we offer
in your family recipes and the flavors of the coffee and the kind of coffee that you choose. Absolutely. I love that. All right, let's go right back to the foodie cam because I've got one more question about the sauce. And I know y'all are predicting that I'm asking a question about the sauce. Tell me about the sauce, Mama, because I'm a very saucy kind of gal. we go a little crazy over our sauces. So tell me all about the sauce.
The sauce is mostly we use we call it berbere. It's Ethiopian berbere.
Mm-hmm.
But more than that, all the spices came from Ethiopia.
They all came from Ethiopia.
Blended together, and they came from Ethiopia.
Yeah, and so this is the sauce that you make this sauce.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That's why you were
I let her
asking.
taste it. She liked it. Her dad liked it. Then I invite her friends, everybody. Why don't you pack it and sell it? I say no. I'm not gonna do that.
Is something that people like. When people finish the sambusa,
Yeah.
they'll take the sauce and drink it because it's that good.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, we are very familiar with drinking sauce on this show. Yes, ma'am. We are. We make a habit of it. In fact, we have lots of good salsas around town. Lots of good dressing. So many different things homemade. In fact, I'm just gonna try the sauce right away.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Oh.
Is it hot?
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Really, this is maybe one of the best sauces I've ever tasted.
Wow.
I'm tasting, I just got another layer. I feel like I'm tasting a olivey type, a vinegary type, a little bit of spice, a little bit of pepper, not exactly sure what it is. I don't know how correct I am right now on all
Most
these.
of it you are.
Yeah, a little bit, but really, really good. But versatile. Like this could go on a lot of stuff. What else could you put this on?
I've actually tried it. We carry breakfast tacos at our space too from Emma's Kitchen, which is also a local spot nearby. And I've tried it with the breakfast tacos.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Okay.
So good.
Okay. First of all, yes.
Yeah.
Breakfast tacos all the way.
Yeah.
With this sauce for sure.
Yeah.
Jarring it is a total score.
Yeah.
Like really. You have the coffee. It's not going to be hard to just slap the label on the jar. No, seriously, because this could go with chicken. This could go savory.
Yes. Yeah.
You could do rice with this, maybe even dip a little injera in it. It's really, I would, if I had a sauce this good, I would want the world to taste this sauce. Truly. It's definitely. Now, do you guys ever have any kinds of special events here? Any live music or anything like that you want to share with our viewers?
Sure. So we through Kefita Coffee and also Wonder Like Wonder, we host a various amount of like events centered around arts and wellness. Mm-hmm. So we have things that happen on a weekly, bi-weekly, and even monthly basis.
Great.
We have this week, we have so far sound show happening. We have different, I'm drawing blank. Oh, we have collage workshops coming up. But yes, our event space, which is Wonder Like Wonder, we host a lot of events here, and other folks also rent the space out for events too.
And what's the best way for people to keep up with the events that are happening here at Kefita Coffee?
The best way I would say is to follow our Instagram. Mm-hmm. So we're very active on there, and that's going to be Kefita.coffee.
Yep, there it is.
And
all right, you guys. Well, I've so enjoyed meeting you, and I'm so thankful for your support of Houston Food Bank and Kids Meals and offering your very first Eat Drink HTX menu. Hopefully it won't be the last.
Yes, for sure.
And hope you guys will check this place out. If you need some coffee in Midtown, you need some brunch, you need some lunch, definitely come out here and check that guava glaze is something that needs to go home with you. I promise you. Make sure you check out all of the menus on our website, EatDrinkHTX.com. Remember too, guys, the daily gift card giveaways on Instagram. All you got to do is tag a couple of friends for your chance to win a $50 gift card at one of our Eat Drink HTX participants. All right, that does it for us. Remember to keep up with all of the Eat Drink HTX live coverage, 4 unique episodes every single week on Fox Local and Fox 26, highlighting the incredible restaurants who are supporting our community and feeding people while dining out and doing good. Thank you guys so much. We will see you on
Thank
another
you.
episode of Foodies and Friends.